Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Monday. It's time for a new video, and today's video is called Addiction. And so I want to share a personal story with you guys, and I hope that it's helpful to you. My personal experience or my addiction previously, I'm about a month clean, is from sugar. And so I grew up afraid to drink alcohol because I was afraid to lose everything. And so I decided I would never drink alcohol and I would never do drugs because it just wasn't the thing for me. I'm not a gambling man. I like to keep what I have, and I'm afraid to lose those things, especially when they're close and precious to me, like friends and family. So basically what happened was I was talking to my mother-in-law, and she had mentioned how addiction to sugar is connected to alcoholism. And so I had never heard that before. I've done a lot of research on different things, but sugar is one of those things that, hey, you have sugar, it's not really a big deal. But as I started to do research, there is a direct connection. So that's the first thing. So the thing that I hated most, which was alcohol, I just started to take the substitute, which was the sugar portion, and I allowed it to control me. And so I'll give you some information on what it would look like for me. I would at any time during the day have a bowl of cereal, and when I say a bowl of cereal, I mean 3 servings. So a massive amount of cereal, which is of course filled with sugar, and then you drink the milk afterwards, which tastes delicious. And then I would continue to probably have about 5 to 8 cookies afterwards. I wasn't really happy with myself for doing that, especially while I was doing it. My mind was telling me to stop, and I just couldn't. But I just felt like it wasn't a big deal, and I hear that from alcoholics too, that they're drinking and they're like, oh, well, I just had a few drinks and it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. And so these are the things that you have to take control of. But you need to do research to educate yourself, and that's what helped me to move forward. So basically what happened was that I looked up to see if there was a connection between alcoholism and sugar, and sure enough there is. And then now I started to look more into sugar, and they were saying they did this study where they took mice and they were giving the mice cocaine. And so they were giving them cocaine for a period of time, and then they gave the mice the option to have either cocaine or sugar, one or the other, and they turned to sugar. And so now I'm saying to myself, wait a second. So the mice would prefer to have sugar over cocaine, and this is a substance that is controlling, so I need to do something about this. So I decided I was just going to go cold turkey, just no more cookies, which is really tough for me. No more sugary cereal, right? That's going to be real tough, but I'm going to do it. And so I went ahead and I stopped having it, and then after a few days I realized that I no longer wanted it. And so it was different. I've dieted before, and it's been tough when it comes to snacks, because I would look at them and I'm in my mind telling myself, you can't have this because it's not part of the diet. And so I wouldn't. I have a lot of self-control. But this time around, knowing that the sugar was controlling me and I don't want to be controlled by the sugar, when I look at the cookies, I don't even want them. It's I'm telling you, it's like the weirdest thing ever to not have the urge to want it. It's weird. And so we just had a birthday party for my sister-in-law, and while we were there, they had cake, and they had pumpkin pie, and they had coconut custard pie, which is my favorite. I didn't have any of it, and I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. I gotta tell you, it feels so good to be overcoming this addiction. And not to say that I can't have a respectful relationship with sugar, but as of right now, keeping it out of my system, I feel great. I feel empowered. Pulling myself away from that addiction is making me feel amazing. So if you have an addiction, I don't know enough about addiction, and I'm not saying that me eating sugar is the same as you drinking alcohol, but let me tell you, it is, in the sense that I could not stop, right? So no, I wasn't getting drunk, but I just couldn't stop. My mind was telling me to stop, and I just couldn't. So guys, do some research. If you're having trouble with a certain addiction, read about it. And as I started to educate myself, it started to make more sense on why I was having such a tough time stopping. But it gave me power to stop. All right, guys. So I hope you have a great week. If you're having any difficulty with any addictions, I'd love for you to talk to me about it. I mean, most of you guys here that are following me are friends. Feel free to send me a text message, and know that I am not here to judge you. I am only here to guide you. And I hope you guys have a great week. Stay warm.